Yusek and Secretary, you can proceed with your presentation.
So Mr. Chair, so there will be two presentations. One presentation on the ICT USEC for cyber, and then the next presentation will be from CICC on specifically what your point of inquiry.
Yes, bali, sana muna on the point of the department.
Yes.
And then afterwards, yung sa CICC, which was created under Public Act 10175, they have presented that as well already. But nakita namin na very informative at siguro kailangan malaman po ito ng taong bayan. So sige, Yusek, Jeffrey, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Secretary. So, presentation on voice, we can flash it on the screen. This presentation also went through the CICC, Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Council Executive Committee, which convened last week. Next slide, please. Just an overview, the Philippines is ranked number...
Quiet, please. Okay, go ahead.
Just an overview of the Philippine social media landscape. The Philippines ranked number 2 in social media usage, with approximately 86.75 million social media users. That constitutes about 73.4% of the entire population. We average daily 3 hours and 34 minutes of screen time in social media. And the most popular app still remains to be Facebook and Facebook Messenger. A very far second is TikTok, although Instagram and X, which was formerly Twitter, is more famous dun sa younger audiences. Let me point out lang, Your Honors, that most people maintain multiple social media accounts. So the statistics might be a little skewed in favor of Facebook because some who also use other social media platforms have their own Facebook accounts. Next slide, please. So, with regard to misinformation and concerns, according to a survey by the World Economic Forum and some other, and the United Nations, 43.9% of Filipino social media users follow particular influencers, and 63.8% of users signified concerns about what is real or fake on the internet. 70% of Filipinos on social media also bought a product due to an advertisement by an influencer's recommendation. We're generally talking about influencers not necessarily as artists, but also yung mga sikat po na mga vloggers at saka yung mga sikat pong nagbebenta sa TikTok at saka sa Facebook Marketplace. Next slide, please. We would like to present two cases just to express the challenges of the law enforcement agencies when it comes to enforcing the law, specifically on disinformation, malinformation, etc. We would like to present the case of the Pulburon, which is where napatunayan na naman po, nagkaroon na po ng forensics ang NBI, ang PNP, the DICT already spoke on it, CICC, the center also spoke, Verifiles, and the other private parties already said with finality that that was a deepfake. The deepfake was first presented in a rally in the United States. Seemingly, a face of the president was swapped to a person inhaling a white substance in that particular video. Next slide. So, in this particular incident, sinabi na po, like I mentioned earlier, maliwanag po na this is a deepfake which was intended to malign the president and the current leadership. It is a manipulated video featuring the president. And we already issued, all government agencies were one in issuing a clarification that this was false and this was deepfake. I will discuss more about that, sir, but I would like to highlight a second case. Yung second case naman po, next slide, bago po i-discuss yung two cases. This one is, and I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, for presenting this, but this is already in social media po in TikTok. A particular person under the handle of AMP Satire had been producing deepfakes, but this time it is different. This time inaamin po niya na deepfake yung pinoproduce niya. At meron po siyang volatilya na sinasabi niya, yung kanyang pinipresent is for political satire. Sinasabi niya na these are all satirical and these are all political opinions. So yung isa po, hindi niya inamin, sinasabi yung baliktad po, yung Pulburon case, sinasabi nila na totoo yun. Ito naman pong si AMP Satire, almost every day nagpo-produce sa TikTok, sinasabi niya, this is satire. And that this is for fun. Yun nga lang po, obviously, ang tinatarget po niya, nandiyan po si number 1 in our constitutional hierarchy, the President, and then followed by the number 4 in our constitutional hierarchy, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and some other personalities. Next slide.
So mga targets yan, talagang they are being hired to malign the persons of those political personalities.
So to be honest, Mr. Chair, we do not have specific information yet, but we are willing to share results of investigation of our efforts to track down the entire machinery, which is on the next slide, Mr. Chair.
Alright, sige, go ahead.
Wala lang, Mr. Chair.
Actually, nag-react kasi nakita ko yung picture ko eh. So, kaya i-reacted.
My apologies, Mr. Chair.
Sige, pero kung meron na kayong makakuhang mga sources dyan, maganda for us. Sige, go ahead.
So, Mr. Chair, first I would like to seek the apology of the committee because no charges until now have been filed with case to the Pulveron. Pero meron kaming map out of the personalities that engage in kung sino yung anchor, ang tawag namin doon anchor. Yung parang source, tapos ini-spread nila systematically using a case of hashtags.
So you have the information about that?
But we would like to request sana, sir, kasi wala pa namang official case na we are ready to present this sana in executive session to Congress.
Surely we have to have an executive session on that matter. This entails national security. Okay, Congressman Barbers.
Mr. Chairman, just clarification kay Yusek Jeff. Ang ibig mong sabihin, identify nyo kung saan nag-originate yung video.
Sir, yung originate, hindi po, how would I say, may suspect po kami sino yung anchor, kung saan sinishare, similar to the academic discussions earlier made by the academe. Usually meron siyang anchor, and then, po pwedeng because naniniwala ka lang, hindi ka naman paid, pero kung paano i-disseminate. So meron po siyang
with the indulgence of Congressman Ace Barbers, kasi itong information na to, very critical as well. Kasi sa atin, okay lang yung personal natin eh. Yung personal natin, we can talk about it eh. But if this video pertaining to, halimbawa, yung sa West Philippine Sea, tapos sasabihin natin yung source na yun, ay ma-identify natin. It might jeopardize yung operation ng DICT. So I believe that we need to have a executive session on this matter. Because I know what to driving at Chairman, but kasi kung sa atin lang, sige okay na yan, pero makikita yung intention. So, I believe that we have to have an executive session.
I absolutely agree with you, Mr. Chair. But my question directed to the Yusek Jeff is, alam nila kung kaya nga kinaklarify ko, sabi nyo yung anchor ba, yung ba yung origin? Hindi.
not necessarily so, Your Honor.
So, but when you say anchor,
The source of the shares.
siya yung responsible in sharing.
That's correct.
And you have a person in mind, you have a suspect.
We have a series of people who could be the anchors because sila sa kanila yung, kumbaga pag pinipisi po, sila yung root, sila yung main.
And if evidence warrants, magpapile kayo ng kaso.
If the case,
May we know ano yung kaso i-profile nyo?
sir, if meron nga po kaming question, we will present that.
Oh, sige.
Because we're
Okay.
discussing
Thank you,
that.
Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, Yusek, you can proceed with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. So, to the next slide po. So, here are the open debates that we are having in which we would like to share to the public and also to the esteemed TRICOM so that para makita po kung gaano ka-complex yung issue ng misinformation and disinformation. If we focus on the Pulveron case, the questions in mind that we are discussing among the Executive Committee of the CICC, which includes the NBI, the PNP, ACG, and the DOJ, is that will this fall under the sedition, revised penal code article 139, or a rebellious act or sedition? Because the element must be that the offender rises publicly or tumultuously, among other things. ito naman po kasi openly pinananawagan nila na BBM resign. Mamaya po ipapakita rin namin yung pag nakita niyo po kasi yung hashtags, ang ginamit nila is hashtag Polvoron, hashtag BBM resign. And then they use hashtag PNP, hashtag AFP. Parang it seems that they are fooling the public that the AFP, that our armed elements, our legitimate armed forces are part of this particular conflict. So may mga ganun po kasi ginamit sila.
Pero you said yung hashtag is like, para lang inform kayo of this content, right?
Yes, sir, but it's also being used as a metric for virality amongst these social media.
To make it viral.
To make it viral.
But they're not part of that.
No.
Sige, okay.
Next slide, please. So, now, in this particular case study, again, let me emphasize two things which our esteemed colleagues from the academy have already presented. The case of the Polvoron is very, very clear mal-information. Kiniklaim nila totoo ito. So it is a national security concern. In the case of AMP Satire, it was self-identified, pero tinatago pa rin po yung kanyang yung kanyang true identity. So ang mga questions namin ngayon, does it fall under sedition law? Can sedition case be filed in the case of Polvoron case? Pero ito po yung number 3 bullet point po, actually mas mahirap. Usually, the information being requested on the actual people behind handles, like in the case of AMP Satire or in the case of other, kasi hindi po yung totoong identity minsan yung pinapost na sa Facebook, nahihirapan po kaming mag-acquire. Kasi we need to issue a cyber warrant, and I think law enforcement agencies would be more authoritative to us to enlighten that matter. Pero usually po kasi for the case of cyber libel, pag magpa-file po ng MLAT, which is Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty, sasabihin ng US, for example, but libel is not a criminal offense in our jurisdiction, ergo wala, you cannot compel us to produce that information. Just to give you an example. So, next slide.
Dahil sa kanila, si state civil.
Civil case po.
And it was committed in the United States. And that's the reason why it's hard for us to...
One of the reasons why we're having
Yeah,
significant.
correct. But talking about you were talking about the subpoena power.
Yes, sir.
Papunta po kayo doon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. So here, I would like to express, gusto lang po namin ipakita sa public and sa members ng Congress kung ano po yung similar laws, pero on a more practical note. Kanina kasi discuss ng academy yung ibang laws, but more on a, on more academic note. Ito practical lang po. How do other countries treat cyber warrants? Sa atin po kasi pareho tayo ng US, which is the first row, mag-a-apply ka sa court. But there are some other countries na ina-allow nila, for example, yung prosecution or competent police authorities to issue a limited power to subpoena information. And that's where we're coming from. For example,